Hey, this is Art Jonak, and I'm sitting here at the Anaheim Hilton, and last night was a Jim Rohn Memorial, and I'm sitting here with an amazing gentleman who co-wrote a book called The 12 Pillars with Jim Rohn. In addition to that, he's running for U.S. Senate in Washington, and you might be thinking, well, why do I care if he's running for U.S. Senate in Washington? I don't live in Washington State. Well, number one, we're going to talk about that here. But number two, I wanted you to hear from him specifically about the free market system, specifically about direct sales, specifically about how that may affect you. So, Chris, thanks for taking a moment here to sit with me and to share with everybody your thoughts on that it takes all of us, for each of us to be successful. Yep. Meaning that your success may have a strong impact on somebody else's success that's watching this, right?
Yeah. You know, the free market systems are really the things that have delineated America from many other countries around the world. And especially in your business, you understand the free market, free enterprise. You got to go out there, you build your business, you work with other people, but you're not relying on other people to do your work for you. And in America today, there's a lot of change going on where we're moving away from free markets, where people are having less opportunity to be able to build their own lives, to live the American dream, to earn the kind of money that they want to earn. And your industry in specific is one of those industries that is fighting back on that. And if I go to the United States Senate, I also want to help turn loose American entrepreneurialism again, so that they can, people can start their own business, they can make their own money, and they can decide their own destiny. Free markets are key to American prosperity.
All right, so free market system obviously allows a person with maybe just pure hunger and drive to go out and achieve the American dream. What does the American dream mean to you? Like, obviously, we were listening yesterday. I can't remember who said it. Maybe it was Tony Robbins. Maybe it was, I just can't remember what it was. But they said it's the American dream. It's not a Martian dream or a moon dream or a Chinese dream. It's the American dream. It was powerful because 2,000 people just applauded at those words. So obviously they mean something. Yeah. What do they mean to you? Yeah,
the American dream, you know, you have this image of a little house with a white picket fence. You know, we create these sort of caricatures of what the American dream is. But ultimately, the American dream, I think, is less a tangible thing as much as a principle. The principle, I think, in some of our founding documents, primarily the rights that we have, the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And the ability for us to have life. The government is there to make sure that we have the right to life, and then the right to liberty, which means the freedom to do whatever it is that we want to do, and to go out and make of ourselves what we want to make of ourselves. And then I think it's interesting, the pursuit of happiness. The government doesn't give us the right to happiness, it gives us the right to pursue happiness. And that's where we get back to this whole idea of individualism and free markets, where anybody gets to choose what they want to do. If they want to make $30,000 a year, they can make $30,000 a year. But in America, anybody can go out and make $1 million a year, $2 million a year, if they pursue it, they give their hard work, and they have a diligent plan toward getting there.
So the free market system basically allows you to go and get paid what you're worth, to let you get paid for what you produce. It's a meritocracy based on what merit you create, rather than an aristocracy of who knows who, right? People who believe they deserve the money. Now you're running for U.S. Senate, which is exciting. There are 100 people in the Senate, so for those of you that may not know U.S. politics, the question is, can one person, one man, one woman make a difference?
Yeah. First of all, I want to give you a quote off of what Art just said. It's one of my favorite quotes of all times, going back to the meritocracy, aristocracy. One of my favorite quotes of all times, Thomas Jefferson said, "There's a natural aristocracy among men, the grounds of which is virtue and talent." And I thought it was interesting in the context of where he was coming from. There wasn't, the people who rise to the top weren't like the old European model, the people who were born into it. He was saying in America that the natural level of people who rise to the top are people who are virtuous and filled with talent, or as I like to call it, character and skill. So if you work hard on your character, you work hard on your skill, and you diligently apply yourself, you can achieve the highest levels in American society. So I love that. I wanted to kind of piggyback on it because my brain was thinking that's my favorite quote. What can one man do? Well, one man can do a lot. I mean, we've seen all throughout history where even in the face of troubles, one man or one woman made a decision. You know, I think about one woman, Rosa Parks. You know, she was on that bus, and that guy said, "Get up, move to the back." She said, "You know what, I'm not getting up." and everything changed. You know, one man, one woman, filled with conviction, can make a difference. And my plan, if I go back to the United States Senate, which is my intentions in November, is to be a voice for reason. You know, we're running national deficits. Our national debt is almost the size of our entire economy. The politicians prior to us, both Republican and Democrat, have spent us into oblivion. And I want to go back with the kind of character and talent that says we've got to put an end to this, not just for me, not just for my family, not just for the people who are even alive today, but for our children and our grandchildren. So I believe that one person with strong convictions and a willingness to work and work for good can actually make a difference, and that's what I hope to do.
Yeah, I believe that too. And a lot of times people say, well, what can I do? What can I do as I'm watching this? Well, here's the reality. Chris is running for Senate in Washington State, not Washington, D.C. It's a whole different story. Washington State. And if you don't live in Washington State, you might think, well, how does that affect me? Well, understand that one vote in the Senate does make a difference. And we all saw that this year, how important that was. So if you don't live in Washington State, you can still help somebody like Chris Widener become elected by supporting them, by getting the word out about them, by letting other people know, here's who Chris is, here's what he stands for, here's how you can support him. So you can find his website, in this case chriswidener.org. We'll show you the link. And you can make a contribution. You can ask yourself, who do I know in Washington? So you can help them get out and vote. And who do I know that may know somebody in Washington, right? So there's a lot that you can do to get the word out. Look for candidates like Chris Widener. Ask them questions. Find out where they stand on the free market system, where they stand on your profession, which is the direct sales profession, where they stand on the American dream, where they stand on big government getting in your way of achieving what you deserve, and then get the word out. You do have an influence. You have social media, you have friends, you have contacts, you have your organization, you have a lot of influence. One person can make a difference, not just in the Senate, but actually you as an influencer. So, Chris, I know you've got to catch a flight, and I know I've grabbed you here. It's actually 6:40 in the morning right now. Richard Brook just walked by, and he's a big supporter of Chris Widener. We can say that. But I really appreciate you being here. Congratulations on your courage to go run for Senate. Guys and gals, thank you for watching, and let's hope that very soon we're going to be able to call this man Mr. Senator. Bye-bye for now.